All right, boom. We're now live. Tap, 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 tap. Now what I'm about to go do right now is I need to make sure. Continue to watch it. I need that link right quick. Okay. It's so much. It takes so much to do what a person with money, like a little to do, because everything is a piece. And then if you have the finances, you can take all of them and clamp it together on one program, and then it'll all work. If you do not have the money, though, everything is broken up into pieces. Meaning, hey Siri, open text now, because it's like trying to pull teeth right now, trying to get this thing. All right, my number is 774. Let's get these.
This all goes
774.
so it just
813.
and also
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Don't joke with me. 774-813-6423. Come on, baby. Where you at?
right. So if you want me to turn on that light, that's what it is. I'm good. What do you
up for some bread? I got some fresh baked they made bread. It's in the bag.
Yeah, I'll try some.
70813 conversations.
Hello.
Hello.
There's some kind of, some pastry there.
It's always at that one last point where it's in you're just like 64238136423. YouTube. I'm trying to get this link so I can see us live right now. Open. That way I can go up. Now this right here is how I would do it in order to okay. So I want all three of you, if you can sit in this seat right here, and y'all, we're gonna do a 30-second. I just gotta get out of here.
No. We'll talk.
Let's talk.
Hello. Have you lived here in this house ever since you moved to Hull?
Yeah.
Yeah.
1961.
It's a year after my dad moved here.
So my kids grew up here.
They did?
Is that your son?
Yes.
Okay. We'll go like.
Yeah. Yeah. Hello, hello. Oh, well, the fishing camp is. Well, this isn't the actual.
I know.
The fishing camp is.
Everybody stay at that level right there, okay?
Okay.
This level?
This level. I don't know what to talk about.
We've got to make sure that everybody else knows to be quiet.
Yeah. I think he said he was gonna close those doors. I think.
Okay.
Brooke,
So the challenge is
we're
gonna
going to be
be.
going live, so if you'd make sure that Andy Rosen knows too.
Yes.
I don't know what Moses is.
I'm watching.
The challenge is gonna be when it's your turn to talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because your mic is gonna be right there and it's turned to the side, so it's not angled towards you. We're gonna need everybody to know when to speak up. You're gonna be sharing that mic, and I'm gonna be the easiest one because I sit right beside it. So my voice is gonna be the loudest voice, and then your voice is gonna be a little bit, but you're gonna be a little bit louder than so you're louder than him. You're gonna have to really like project into it. So whenever you talk, so yeah, I can hear it right now. So we just gonna do that for 30 seconds.
Oh.
Let's see how that 30-second countdown starts, and then we're gonna push for that. Okay, hold on. Banner.
Alright, so the whole fishing camp started on Monday, and it's been a pretty successful week. Kids caught some fish at Crescent Beach on Wednesday, and just trying to teach them all about striper fishing and haul, and about the conservation of it, and how they can go off on their own. And wait, so am I supposed to, when it's all of us, I'm talking to other people, and then when it's just me, I talk to the camera?
Yeah.
Okay. I gotta talk about it though.
I think
No, I
it's
can't.
the beginning to talk about it. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Now, to answer your question, right? So you can talk regardless; they'll be able to hear you. When the focus comes on you, the only difference is I'm gonna make your camera bigger, so it's just gonna pan directly towards you. Especially when you have the floor, so they're gonna see all three of us. But they just want to see you, man, because you know. And the same goes for you. Like when you start giving the conversation about something, I'm gonna take all of us off, and it's gonna be you. And when we're all doing discussion, just having an open conversation, then we're just all on the camera together. Okay. We're gonna try to keep our voices upbeat like this, just in case. So if you're on the camera and I do like this right here, it's just for safety precaution because I don't want to have to adjust your sound after the fact because it makes it blur out a little louder.
Yeah.
So if we catch that natural tone, you'll be good. That was good, and we're about to get started. Don't worry about the live production. It's good. When we go shut this off, douse my face and change my shirt, and I'll come back down.
Oh.
I feel like I should not do this. He's like, no, yeah.
No, I think it helps to have more people involved. Are you involved in the camp at all?
Not at all. I just came because I'm with him, so I was like, oh, I'll just watch. And then Sam was like, oh, you can be in it. So I'm just gonna sit here.
Definitely add interest.
It looked like a conversation.
Yeah. Okay.
More of a group thing.
Yeah.
Did they snafu you on the street? Good kids in the family. Good brothers and sisters.
Yeah, I have a younger brother. He's 17. And I'm 19. We're close. And yeah, I only have one sibling.
Yeah.
Graham has a lot of siblings, so.
I have an older sister and then 2 younger brothers. And then I have like 21 cousins
So
on,
many
on just the
cousins.
Wayland side. My mom has some more too.
It's a lot of cousins.
They all live in Hull.
Yeah.
And they all lived in Hull at one point. Now everyone's off doing their own thing, like the kids are. But yeah, they grew up on N Street, so they've been around Hull for a while.
Just on one street.
Well, that's where they grew up. Now just my granny lives there.
That's cool.
So how many people live in the house?
One person downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
A couple up in there. They are guests.
Mm-hmm.
They're waiting for financial St. Peter's office.
Mm-hmm.
And then Timothy is upstairs here. My son is using the bedroom over there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sleeping in my It's a very full house.
Yeah.
Well, you can make a TV show here.
Yeah, you could. A reality TV show.
Good thing I cooked earlier, you didn't know
I
this.
just doing the jacket off, okay? All right, so I just didn't want to hang on no shirt or nothing. This is the beauty of TV.
Before you
Alright.
go, I want to talk to you about positive thoughts kind of strategy.
All right, so now I'm gonna leave you on with me, okay? No, I'm gonna keep you up. I'm gonna keep you up because they are the guests. All right, so I'm about to drop you off. I'm going to unmute myself right quick because I need myself. Testing. Good. Do you hear an echo? A slight echo over there?
Yeah.
Would you
That one won't go down though.
Yeah, that right there is at its lowest. Is at its lowest. Do you hear that? Look, that little repeat echo.
It happened a little bit ago.
But you hear a little bit of it, but you don't hear like a whole bunch. Like back, you know how it was. If I turn this up like this, if I turn it up too loud, you don't hear the repeat like that, do you?
Maybe a little bit.
Let me turn that one down. Let me turn this one over down as low as I can get them. All right, so we're gonna do that 30-second countdown one more time, and then we're gonna come back in, and then we're gonna go. I'm gonna run upstairs just to make sure that it did not do it, and then we're gonna do 30 seconds. So it's gonna be like a minute. And then we're gonna do a 30-second countdown. Okay, I'm gonna need this mic.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Hull TV2 Live with Timothy Lauren, Judith Van Ham, Sophie Stratford, and Graham Whalen. And today we're talking about fishing.
Okay. Perfect.
You have a really nice radio.
Yeah.
Broadcasting.
That's a nice broadcasting voice too. It is. Hello, everybody. All right, so now we good. It sounds good. Let's get it. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I would like to present this summer introduce to others real good friends of mine that I've gotten a chance to know right here in Hull. We started this show called Hull TV2, this network that has been experiencing one of the greatest things I think one has ever been able to experience. This is the blessing people and the wealth of knowledge, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, first I would like to introduce to some and present to others, Madam Judith Van Ham. How are we doing today, Mrs. Judith?
Really glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you've been doing, and what we are expected to be seeing tonight by some of our co-hosts that are going to be showing up here tonight.
Well, I've lived in Hull a long time. Wasn't born here, but I've lived more than half of my life here. And I'm very, very aware of what's happening to the climate. And so a lot of my focus is on, can we get to 100% clean energy and inspire the world to do the same so that our peninsula can stay here?
That is good. And I'm blessed enough to be able to broadcast this out, streaming it out to the people around the world and hopefully beyond. And hopefully this right here will be something that will be stapled into our history book so that we can learn from what we're being taught by not only our seniors, but our peers, but also our youth, our next generation, which is going to be propelling us to the next level and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a good friend of mine who came out and decided to exploit. Can I use that word? Is that a good word to use? Exploit his talents and show the world what he's been doing, you know, to help the future generations. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Graham Whalen. What is going on? How are we doing today, brother? So tell us a little bit about yourself. Okay, so now you're currently what are you currently doing right now?
So let's go back to my freshman year of school at Flagler and St. Augustine. I started a fishing camp for Hull. So it's a summer camp for kids. And it's for kids aged 7 to 14. And I just want to show a little bit of how I grew up in Hull and take them out so they can experience their, coastal environment the way I once did. So the kids are going to be going off day to day and fishing a new spot every day to try a new habitat. And I teach them all the different forage, the conservation of the striped bass, which is the target species of the camp. And I hope that I can relay the information that I've learned fishing in Hull and throughout the country to them so that they can take it off and help their future fishery as the young kids and the young generation of this town.
Now, who is this young lady beside you right here?
This is my girlfriend, Sophie Stratford.
Okay, how you doing, Sophie? Thank you for supporting him while he's doing all of this stuff right here. Now, my friend, it's amazing. This is an amazing task. Okay, now what you're doing is teaching a person how to fish. So you're saving lives in theory. Can you agree with that? Yeah, because you can give a person a fish, but if you teach them how to fish, then they can live forever. But what are some things you're learning about the scenery of fishing? And the way it was yesterday as opposed to how it is today?
So fishing has changed a lot. Back in the day, people used to just use bait and forage they found. But in recent years, we've been able to incorporate artificial lures, or what they're called, which are the fake fish that you see swimming. But it's my job to try and teach the kids the correct way to work those and in part limit the amount of dead fish consumed by fishermen that they need to use for bait. But also, it can just be more of a fun and a little more of an intermediate way to fish, because you can actually see the fish eat the lures. A lot of times they're on top water, or so you can actually see the fish feeding, and it's just a little more of an exciting way to fish. Instead of waiting for the bait to sit, you actually reel it yourself and try and convince the fish yourself. Although we do still use bait, because sometimes in the hot summer months, that's all the fish will eat is, something that has some scent to it.
Okay, so my question is, all right, so you teach them how to use different baits and different currents. Now, where do you do this at exactly?
So the camp is entirely in Hull, and we go to different spots, all weather and tide depending, just to give them a sense of different habitats and how they can fish each one and what to use at each. My goal is that when the kids leave the camp on Friday, they can go get a rod from the local bait and tackle shop, Hull Bait, and they can go off on their own and just find their own little spot in Hull, one that I might have shown them or one that might have inspired them, and use what I've taught them to go do to go fish in Hull and go off on their own and be independent fishermen.
That is great. Now, okay, so now we're talking about the independent fishery. Now, when you show them how to catch the fish, do they eat the fish, or what happens after they catch the fish?
So the camp is all catch and release, because the target species is the striped bass, which is a species that has fish stocks heavily in decline, especially in recent years, but it has been something that's been recurring throughout the history of the striped bass ever since colonial times. But I teach the kids to fish in a way that they're responsible for their actions, because it is their future fishery. I teach them the right methods to use so that you don't injure the fish, maybe by using less hooks or using safer hooks. And current regulations put in state by the Mass Division of Fisheries and Wildlife have allowed for the kids to use these hooks and not harm the fish as much. But I teach them to keep the fish out of the water for as little time as possible, because fish can't breathe air. So it is pretty easy to simplify it for the kids. They have simple minds, so it's easy to let them know how they can affect their future fishery.
That is absolutely amazing right there, because now you said that the different types of hooks. The different types of hooks. Now you can have a hook that snag them in so that you can test them out to see how big they are, or you have hooks that just grab them in because you're trying to eat.
Yeah, so I mean, all the hooks that you're supposed to use for stripers now are circle hooks, and that is the new regulation. Those get caught in the corner of the mouth for the striper, so they don't get gut hooked as much, which is when they might eat too fast and swallow the whole bait, and then you deal with a situation where you're shoving pliers down their throat. It's just not a good situation for the fish or you, because the camper, the kids, might get a hook in their finger, which obviously is a danger for 7-year-olds to 14-year-olds. All kids are a danger for anyone, really. It could be a trip to the ER. But in another way, it helps the fish too, because you can get it back in the water as fast as possible and relive that same experience you had with that fish. Hopefully someone else can catch it another day, even bigger, and share that experience.
And share that experience, or possibly make some well dinner. And to be real, now we've noticed over the years, and I know we're not even going to have you tap into any type of the climate change and the things that we're dealing with Hull TV too. But I do want to tap into it because it is attached to it in some way, shape, form, or fashion. What you are doing is helping our future generations with eating. What we're dealing with is a massive decline in the fishery, in the oceans. And there's a lot of things that are being put into play to help preserve our oceans, sea life, by catching these fish. In this instance right here, the youth are getting the opportunity to actually see the different types of species of fish in here. Which fish is plentiful around the Massachusetts area that you would suggest would be a great catch and eat type of fish?
A couple of great catch and eat fish that are plentiful around here are the summer and winter flounders, which winter flounder are actually here all year round, but fishing in Hull and Massachusetts as a whole is usually a summer thing, just because a lot of the fish are either migratory or go farther offshore in the colder months. So tautog are another fish, black sea bass. These are all fish you can catch in the same spots and zones as stripers would be. You just be fishing for them a little bit differently. And there are a lot of other fish that we can replace stripers with, because people do like the taste of stripers, but regardless, it's not the only type of fish that's out there to eat. So I hope people can kind of see that and realize that there are other fish to be catching for the table if that's what people want to do.
I do agree. I think that the red herring, which is something like a bait fish, and then you have the salmon, which is something that is popular. The striper, which is something that gets caught a lot in this area, which is overfished. And because of that, to be catching some of the fish like what we see right here, that fish right there that you just saw, that young man just caught right there. It described describe that cut. What I just did was I just illustrated a picture. All right, now I want you to act like you just saw that picture, and then we're going to talk about that picture. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Could you tell us about that picture? And where at were you when you took that picture and the size of that fish right there? Hold on.
Are you talking about the one with all the kids?
Yeah, hold on. We literally just lost power. Literally just lost it. I forgot that battery was on there. Why didn't you remind me? 2 seconds. So we did good. That was good. Yeah, that was. It ended off on a great question. All I got to do is just plug back in, okay? So isn't that amazing?
That's amazing.
That's made me so upset, though. I'm sorry because it didn't even warn me that the thing was going there. Oh,
Good work, everybody.
It was just
that's great, Miss Judith. That'll give me a couple of minutes. That we ended up on that question right there. The battery went dead. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. At least we wasn't in mid conversation. Let's take a quick little breather, right quick, okay? We're gonna do the last 10 minutes and then we're done. The last 10 minutes, we're gonna start interacting with you. And so we're gonna get that part right there. I do apologize. I blame Graham for this because if he would have told me to put this on the charger, we wouldn't be having this problem. All right, so let's just take a break right quick and let's get everything back charged. Let's see how much power we have left over here. Seems like everything died at the same time, huh? All right, so Miss Judith, this looks to me like we got some last man standards around here. I burn through batteries, y'all. I really do. But that is good though because I'm gonna aim that camera at you because I really don't want to go back up there and grab another charger right quick. And that camera right there will be just aimed at you. This camera right here can be aimed at me, and this camera is aimed at you. Okay, that way we don't have to worry about doing too many shiftings. As a matter of fact, if I wanted to, I pan this one right here over to you, and then I bring it down to give me enough time to adjust, and then I just turn it over to you. Is that thing still talking? Good, let it, because that means the broadcast, we didn't lose the broadcast. Good. Oh, wait a minute. Everybody else can still see us. right.
See if I have a blanket. And so, how do I set up the water and
Okay.
tea?
Excuse
Testing,
me,
testing,
I can tell him about the blanket.
testing, testing. Is that all the way down?
Let's see.
Pop, pop, pop.
That's all the way down.
All right, let's bring me up on the camera.
Mosen, the blanket's in that corner. When we're all done, I'll bring you a blanket.
Say it again?
I will bring you a blanket.
All right.
And a pillow by any chance?
The pillow is behind the file cabinet. It just needs a pillowcase.
That's pulling me now. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Okay, I use it. I use it.
Brooke, there's a blanket right. Yeah. This is the nicest blanket in the entire house. It's from Peru.
Lovely. These are made with a merino wool. Some kind of wool.
Alpaca.
Why don't I show you where the pillows are and stuff too?
Okay. Testing. The last question that I asked was
Oh, you asked about the picture.
the picture.
gonna
The
explain
picture.
the
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah. So
Which I can send to you.
yep. So now the picture we're gonna add into it. All right. So okay.
No room.
Is it all
But are
right.
you going to be using this one or no?
Yeah, that one right there is gonna be. I'm be using that one because We're not even gonna do the 30-second countdown. You're gonna be holding the mic, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thank you for coming back. Okay, so the question that we left off with, Graham, was what type of fish was that was caught, and where were you at when that fish was caught? Could you explain that picture?
So that fish was a striped bass caught by the kids over by Gun Rock Beach in Hull. That fish was caught on a chunked mackerel, a chunked Atlantic mackerel, which is a prominent bait fish of the striped bass, which I got at the local tackle shop. So it was dead and cut up and put on a little circle hook per the regulations of the Mass Division of Fisheries and Wildlife. So yeah, that was Jet Minkler that caught that fish.
That was an amazing fish. That was what, like at least
It was probably like 23 inches.
23 inches.
And the legal size is a slot size of in between 28 and 35 inches, which was put in place last year to protect the big breeder fish so they could lay their eggs without people take them.
And that right there is what's going to help reproduce and pick up the numbers that's going to be needed by reducing the amount of fish that can be removed from these areas, especially the stripers.
And contrary to popular belief, the best stripers to eat are actually those smaller ones in the 28 to 35 inch age range, because the ones that are bigger just have too high of mercury levels in them, and that is the case with a lot of big fish. So people do like to take the big fish home to take pictures, but I think that's more of an ego-based thing, and people should take home the smaller fish because one, they taste better, and two, it is better to keep the breeders in the water so more fish can be produced. Okay.
Well, this is something that I believe is an amazing thing, and I do thank you. I really do thank you for sharing that with us. Now, Miss Judith, the camera is going to be panning over to you, Mrs. Judith, and I know that you would have a lot to say about the things that you've heard today. Could you give us some input on some of the things that you've heard and maybe some questions that you may want to ask our lovely guests while we have them here?
I'm more familiar with the kind of fishing that major fishermen do. So I've done a little research on cod, and the cod have moved because of temperature in part affecting them, but they've moved up towards Iceland and Ireland. They also are used to eating this the herring. That's what they eat. And here in Hull and Cohasset and Hingham, the places they get their water from the Wheel River, watering lawns or long showers, it means when we have a drought like last summer that the actual Wheel River goes dry, and the herring can't get back out, and it affects the number of herring that we have and the number of cod that can survive here.
Thank you for that. Now, and Graham, I want to thank you once again. I really do want to thank you for coming out here and sharing with us your wealth of knowledge that you've gained over the years. And I also want to thank you for sharing your wealth of knowledge with our next generation moving forward to help one and save one. And I really do want to thank you for that. In closing, do you have anything else that you would like to tell the people?
I just want to tell the people, look out for your futures, not just fishing when it comes to anything with the environment, because that is going to be eventually what happens to the world. So.
Exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I want to thank each and every last one of you guys for coming out here and checking us out and hanging out with Mrs. Stratford. Hold on, break. We have some breaking news. Mrs. Judith, what would you like to say?
Okay, I would like people watching this to know what we're doing with the Positive Thought Climate Strategy. And this is something that every person can help with. If you picture the climate staying stable and us having all of our species and feeling gratitude for this miracle happening in our lives, that's what we will get. And I did a little research. If we have 90,000 people on Earth, what happens with the law of waves is that when waves are added together, they square their power. So 90,000 people have the power of 8.1 billion, the number of people that will be on Earth in 2024. So I'd like to encourage everybody watching this to picture it all coming out okay, so that we have a stable and sustaining climate, so that we keep all of our species, and to be grateful for that miracle happening in our lives.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Judith. And we will be striving for that number, hoping to achieve the maximum number, which is 8.1
billion.
8.1 billion people.
No, not, we need 90,000 people. It's not a big number, okay? We can get to that number pretty easily by people talking to their friends.
Okay. All right. Well, let's shoot for that 90,000 people, and let's hope that we get to it as fast as we can. Graham Welling and Madam Sophie Strafford, I want to thank each and every last one of you two for coming out here and sharing with us your knowledge. And thank you for standing beside your future right in front of you. I want to thank each and every last one of y'all for this. And please come back and check us out, okay? Please come back and check us out. Follow us on halltv2.com, www.halltv2.com, where you will find this and much more. Meeting my friends is a challenge, but when you meet them, you will learn something, okay? Because they have a wealth of knowledge that they will pass on to you. Mrs. Judith Van Ham, thank you for joining us. Mrs. Stratford and Mr. Welling, thank you guys. My name is Timothy Lawrence, and I'm the host of Hall TV2. Where are we now? Scratch. What's the name of the title that we're going to be picking?
This is for Chasing Coral.
Oh yeah. So we're going to be using the Chasing Coral. All right. Hi, my name is Hi, my name is Timothy Lawrence, and this right here is a Chasing Coral discussion hosted by myself, Mrs. Judith Van Ham, with co-host of Mrs. Sophie Strafford and Graham Welling. And we have been able to put together some great material, and we hope you guys enjoy it. Please come back and check us out right here at www.halltv2.com, where you will find this and much more. Thank you for your time, and I hope to see you again. Hold on, don't move yet. I should have had it up already.